Hello everyone, welcome to the market snapshots for today. The overall markets are looking good, be it the Indian market or the US market. Nifty closed yesterday at around 0.67% above its prior close. Same was the story with Nifty 500, almost at 23,433.5% above the last close. Nasdaq 100 was up by almost 1.25% at 29,698, and S&P 500 was almost up by 0.72% at 7537. Let's look at the numbers. The advances and the declines for the Indian market. This is Nifty 500. We had around 260 advances to around 240 declines. New highs, got 23 new highs against 477 new lows. The breadth part, I think this is the most important aspect, at least how I look at the market. And the good part about the Indian markets has been, although the market has not shown great amount of strength, but somehow the breadth has remained very consistent. I think from last 20 odd sessions, the breadth has for sure not deteriorated. It might not have shown strength, but it has not deteriorated. Whereas if we look at other Asian markets, a lot has been going down. So I think, if we talk about the concept of relative strength, right? I mean, it's not only about when everything is moving ahead makes sense, but when a lot of is crashing and there are markets which are not going down, that itself talks about the resilience or strength in the market. And that is what exactly the Indian markets have been showing, especially Nifty 500, small caps, the micro caps. So let's look at the numbers for Nifty. This is Nifty 500 above 20 MA, almost 317 stocks above 50 MA, 303 stocks above 200 MA, 286 stocks. I mean, the strength or the heartbeat of this particular uh, breadth has been the consistency it has got for almost 20 plus sessions. Let's look at the chart. Very strong looking chart. I mean, this is Nifty 50. It is almost touching to its April highs right now. And this formation, this base formation, there was a good momentum from its bottom, then it formed a base, and then it is trying to rise. Very structurally very strong looking chart. Let's look at Nifty 500. This is even more stronger. uh, you know Again, it was like it was stuck in this range. Then from its bottom it got a good momentum, again formed a base. See, the good part is it is not flying. So I mean, it is forming its base and then it is moving. So we can, like, I mean, this becomes a more trustworthy momentum in the markets. And now 50 MA has also, has started slanting upwards, so that makes even more better. So overall good going for the Indian markets. And let's look at the trend, participation, and the breadth. Nifty 50 is bullish at trading above 50 MA. Participation is mixed and the breadth is a strong. Nifty 500 bullish, trading above 50 MA. Participation mixed and breadth is strong. Uh, the most important aspect is this, the breadth being strong in both the markets. Like, I think in my prior sessions also I have told this. Uh, for consistency to prevail in overall market, or a good bull run looks when everything starts playing together. And that is what we are seeing. I mean, Nifty was struggling big time, but I think it's been almost a week now wherein the breadth in even Nifty 50 is has been remained strong. I'm not too much concerned about the participation because this is an everyday activity. So this may go up and down, but then till the time this remains very consistent, that is what makes the market. So overall, very good going for the Indian markets. A lot of strengths, sectoral strengths, individual stock strength, indices strength. So I think pretty good going there. Let's look at the US markets. The advances 216 to 284. And then if we look at new highs, 27 new highs to 273 new lows. breadth of very strong breadth, almost 10 odd sessions. And for the US market, the breadth has been very strong, above 20 MA 341 stocks, above 50 MA 339 stocks, above 200 MA 322 stocks. I think there was a period when Nasdaq started crashing. The breadth had gone like literally bad for all the indices. This is for S&P 500, but I think last 10 plus sessions, very strong breadth for the broader indices like S&P 500 and Russell 2000. So what is happening, I think, in the US market is, I think the US markets were moving with a lot of concentration on technology and semiconductors, but that is now getting diversified into broader indices like S&P 500 and Russell 2000. So overall, very good going for the US markets also. This is Nasdaq 100. If you look at the chart, I mean, it's a very strong looking bullish chart, but then it has gone little sideways. But then the thing is, if you see, it is still not going down. So I mean, it can go either way, but again, it is the structure which is giving at this point of time is bullish. This is S&P 500. This is slightly more better looking chart, I would say, because see, again, very similar structure to what Nasdaq is doing, but here the breadth has been very consistent about this rise, which is not the case with Nasdaq 100. So that is the reason, means I would vote for this kind of chart better than the Nasdaq 100. The reason being, this rise is because of participation and breadth, whereas this rise is not because of that. So yes, S&P is a good looking chart, and amongst the strongest looking chart, I would say Russell 2000. Very simple thing, if you just look at the consolidation here, it is consolidating at its highest levels with breadth and participation in its favor. Can go either way, but then the way it looks at this point of time, it looks a very bullish and a strong chart. If you're looking to bet, I think Russell 2000 is the go-to bet for the US markets. Let's look at the trend, participation and breadth. US 100 bullish, trading above 50 MA, participation mixed and breadth is strong. This is what I was mentioning. The US 100 rise, cannot be trusted, because the market was like, I mean, it was literally in the north. It was almost in the blue sky. So that is the reason it cannot fall overnight, and that is the reason, the chart structure looks very strong, but these participants are not looking good. So that is the reason I am not looking to take trades in US 100. Whereas when I look at S&P 500, bullish, trading above 50 MA, participation mix, breadth is strong. Same is the case with Russell 2000, bullish, participation mix and breadth is strong. These two are like in a very good shape overall. How the markets look, the structure looks, and how the participation and the breadth is coming into the markets. Let's look at the global macro picture. US yields are rising at 4.48. Dollar is rising at 100.83. The VIX has subdued, which is again a very good news for the markets. uh, See, what yields are telling that people are moving towards safer bets. What dollar is telling that it is tightening the liquidity in the market. But overall, if we see the yields and the dollar in last 3 4 sessions, they have remained pretty much where they were. At the same time, the participation and breadth in the market, so it's a little bit of mixed bag kind of scenario for the US markets. But then at this point of time, if the breadth has been supportive, I think we can go. I'm not saying go all in, but then you can definitely look for good bets at S&P 500 and Russell 2000. Let's look at BTC and gold. Since we last discussed this, BTC is almost up by 4,000 points and gold is up by 4,300 point, almost 200 points. Uh, I'll tell you something about BTC and gold in my next slide. Let's look at the dollar chart. Like I said, this is a very strong looking chart, but then last 4 5 sessions, it has gone nowhere, and maybe that is what is fueling the rise in S&P 500 and Russell 2000. This is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it formed a bottom at around 58,000 and now is trading. It is almost uh, 5,000 above its uh, bottom levels. I'll tell you, BTC is the most sensitive and the most forward looking indicator for equities market. Because what happens, any changes at Fed or in the dollar or the US yields, this is the first instruments which moves. And what this is pointing is, this is pointing that little bit of confidence is coming back in the riskier segment, which is Bitcoin equities. Does this means it is going to be a bull run? No, I won't say that till the time it crosses above 50 MA, then again forms a base, then tries to find. I mean, this line needs to start trending upwards. That is when I'll start trusting that it is working. But for this point of at this point of time, this is indicating us that a little more confidence is coming towards the equities and the bit and riskier assets like Bitcoin. Same is the story with gold, although it is not showing as much confidence as Bitcoin is showing, but it's still, very similar looking chart. Um, Formed a bottom at around 3800 and now at around 4200, 4100, trying to depict the same picture. But then Bitcoin is a better indicator, I would say. Overall, if you're looking to make bets, I think right now there are ample of opportunities. Indian markets are doing very, very well. If you look at the smaller indexes like Nifty, Nifty 500, IPO index, Nifty 250 small cap, Nifty micro cap 250, very, very good opportunities. In US markets, I think S&P 500 and Russell 2000 are giving very good opportunities. Uh, in gold and Bitcoin, both have given very, very good opportunities, both on the long side and the short side. So overall, I think good markets. I think we can actively trade, invest whatever we are looking for. Uh, Again, don't be very, very, like, I mean, you can be little cautious still, because yields are also rising, dollars are rising, but overall good sentiments, good market participation, good breadth. So overall, we can trade all the markets. That is what I would say. When I say all the market, it is restrictive to the US and the Indian markets. That's everything for today. Hope you all found this useful. Thank you so much and see you next time. Have a good one.